Exciting news for Manchester United fans as a deal has finally been struck between Manchester United and Newcastle over appointing Dan Ashworth as the new sporting director at Old Trafford. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to center around Manchester United and the dawning of an exciting new horizon for Manchester United fans in the form of United being brought into modern day and modern times with a complete turnaround and change and modification of their entire backroom staff. And it only continues today with the news of confirmation that Manchester United and Newcastle have struck a deal for Dan Ashworth. This has been a deal that has been 4 months in the making. Newcastle have attempted to try and extinguish the talks, try to keep hold of Dan Ashworth, but eventually both Dan Ashworth and Manchester United have got their way, and it does appear that Ashworth is going to be making the switch from St James's Park to Old Trafford to go and be Manchester United's new sporting director. We're going to be talking about Manchester United, we're going to be talking about Dan Ashworth, we're going to be talking about the dawning of a new horizon and also a couple of other transfer stories that are involved with Manchester United today. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, are on this particular video down below. So would love to hear from you all. Please use and abuse that comment section, people. Would love to hear from you all. I'm sure whatever you have to say will make for great interest in reading on this particular topic. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Dan Ashworth and Manchester United. First and foremost, for those of you who are new, I always say this when I talk about rival videos and rival things. I am a Liverpool fan. I am looking at this from the outside looking in, but I will always try and be fair, neutral, and as honest as I can with maybe the odd banterous comment thrown in there. There we go. That's the disclaimer out of the way. Let's go on with the story. So, this has been 4 months in the making. This has been something that Manchester United have had their heart pretty much set on. They wanted Dan Ashworth for a long time. It feels like this move has dragged so much, and it's all been because Newcastle have been trying to put off Manchester United. They've been trying to obviously keep hold of Ashworth in a sense, and obviously the compensation package has been a struggling factor that both teams could not excuse me, could not decide on, could not come to an agreement on. But last night, David Ornstein broke the news, or this morning, shall I say, David Ornstein broke the news that Manchester United agreed deal with Newcastle United to appoint Dan Ashworth as sporting director. Move delayed by Manchester United and Newcastle, struggling to compromise on the compensation package, but switch now sanctioned and 53-year-old expected to start immediately. So this is massive for Manchester United, and especially when you consider that obviously since the new ownership, they've been making all the right sounds and all the right noises, but then we needed, well, the United fans needed to see action. They needed to see action. And even as rival fans, we needed to see action before we could actually believe that United were going to be doing some sort of incredible revival. They've since gone on to appoint Omar Barada as their chief executive, taking him from Manchester City. Jason Wilcox is their technical director, who I believe came from Arsenal, but I could be wrong on that. Off the top of my head, I think Arsenal, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure. And then, of course, now they've taken Dan Ashworth from Newcastle. Now, of course, City being City, we obviously know about them. We obviously know about their situation. So taking Omar Barada from them was obviously going to be a huge deal already. Jason Wilcox, highly rated, highly thought of. That was going to be a big deal as well. And then Dan Ashworth to leave Newcastle, who are on the verge of a potentially super mega exciting project, again, still shows you that even though United have not been at the full force of their potential and their powers that they used to be, United still have that United pull. They still have the name. They still have everything. And I think with the new takeover as well, it makes them even more exciting and enticing than, obviously, what they have been, like I say, for the past decade or so. The new ownership have certainly taken over. They've certainly given their fans hope and belief. And there is a feel-good factor around Manchester United right now. I see it in friends and people online and things, and people that I know and who are United fans, and there's a sense of optimism, there's a sense of excitement that they've gone through a very dark tunnel, and finally there is a light at the end of that tunnel, and that light is Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, and they have already came in and they're already stamping out the kind of toxic and poisonous nature that the club used to have over the past 10 years, and they are cleaning house. They are certainly cleaning up everything behind the scenes, and they are putting the right people in place. There is obviously talk that Erik ten Hag is going to be moved down from manager to head coach. They are implementing a model at the club that is more modern. That is basically the head coach deals with everything on the pitch and off the pitch. They're going to have a group of people that are going to be all singing off the same hymn sheet. They're all going to be on the same page, and they're all going to be pulling in the right direction to obviously make Manchester United great again. Sorry, Donald Trump on that one. But no, yeah. Obviously, as a rival fan, I do not want this to work at all. I hope this crashes and burns horrifically. But I have to be honest. I understand the level of excitement and optimism that Manchester United fans are going with right now. I understand the way that obviously United are looking at things, whether you are a fan, whether you're a player, whether you are whoever you are associated with Manchester United, and you've got a sense of optimism for the future. We have to obviously see all of this be put into practice. It's all right, it's all looking good from the outside, but does it actually work on the inside? Do all their decisions? Well, I mean, not everyone's going to have a 100% success ratio on their decision making, but are the majority of their decisions working out for the betterment of Manchester United? Do they improve Manchester United? But you've got to say that when I say everything that I've said in this video already, it sounds, looks, feels exciting for them. I don't want it to work out. I can't reiterate that point enough. I don't want this to work out. But I've got to be honest. It is interesting and it is exciting, and it does seem like Manchester United are finally moving into the modern era. It's not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be, a process that is going to be over and done with this quickly. There is still a lot more stuff at Manchester United that needs to be that needs to be changed, that needs to be modified. But they are heading, seemingly, in the right direction. And if the trajectory continues the way that it is, United, it won't be long before they are back in the top four on a permanent basis, or at least a more consistent basis than what they have been. Won't be long before they are challenging and competing for major honours again, and it won't be long before they are likely to obviously be winning those kinds of accolades, accomplishments, silverware, however you want to phrase it. Again, I don't want it to happen, but at the same time, I can understand where United are getting their sense of optimism and excitement from. They obviously have to keep their feet on the ground, though. That's my one sort of warning to United fans. Keep your feet on the ground. Don't go too overboard yet. Let these people do the work for you, so that you can bring your portfolio of examples and evidence and throw it all out at rival fans' faces, if that is to obviously happen. Be excited, sure. Be optimistic for the future, absolutely. But just remember, it's not going to be a complete overnight success. And obviously it goes hand in hand with what has happened these past few months in regards to the managerial situation. Now, of course, Erik ten Hag, as we know, is going to remain as the Manchester United manager, although his role has been somewhat reduced to head coach, which, again, is a more modern way of thinking. It's more of, you know, how big clubs are going right now, how every club is going right now. You're not the manager, you're not controlling everything beyond what's happening on the pitch, you're just basically controlling what's on the pitch. Smart move from United to obviously reduce his role to head coach. If they're all, like I say, pulling in the same direction, it works really, really well. And obviously like a well-oiled machine. Now, whether that well-oiled machine actually works or not remains to be seen. And look, I'm not completely convinced on Erik ten Hag. I'm still not. I still think the FA Cup papers over a lot of cracks. I still think this season has shown his somewhat weaknesses, and I don't necessarily think he's going to be the guy for Manchester United to take them back to competing on a consistent level and winning consistent trophies, even though it does sound stupid when obviously he has won 2 trophies in 2 years at Manchester United. I don't think he's going to be competing for the major honours as consistently. However, I understand that whilst the managerial market is a little dry right now, I understand why United probably saw him as the best possible fit for who's out there, who's available for right now. So I kind of understand their logic on that one. I don't necessarily think he's going to be the guy to take them back to the top, but maybe he could be the guy to lay the groundwork. To lay the groundwork whilst this new business model behind the scenes beds in, whilst this new business model behind the scenes is moulding Manchester United for the future. This could be the guy just to lay the groundwork, lay the foundations, and then in a year or two's time, maybe they look for an upgrade. Maybe they look for an improvement. Maybe that is going to be the case when it comes to Erik ten Hag. But no, I understand where a lot of United fans are coming from on this. And the new era does look pretty interesting. And, you know, to kick things off with a new era, it looks like they are linked with 2 very good players as well. The latest coming out of Manchester United is Manuel Ugarte. A guy that we have talked about a fair amount over the past year or so. I remember him being heavily linked with Liverpool. I think Arsenal was seemingly interested as well. This was a guy that was heavily linked with a move to the Premier League before making his move to PSG. A guy I rate, a guy whose energy I like. I don't necessarily think he's the best when it comes to being in possession of the ball, but as far as being a destroyer goes, keeping it simple, and obviously his awareness on the pitch, as well as obviously, like I say, his energy, I think he is going to be a worthwhile addition to that Manchester United squad if they can obviously get the deal done, which seems very much likely. When you listen to some of the reports and things that are going around today, it does seem like United are very keen on adding him to their squad. And I think they will have a very good player on their hands if or when they do that. Another player they link with is Matthijs de Ligt. Interesting one, this one. We know that obviously Bayern are going for a clear out of some of their players. De Ligt could fall into that category of players that they find to be worthwhile of selling. It could be an interesting one. We know that obviously the back line does need beefing up at Manchester United. De Ligt could certainly fit the bill there. We know he's got a worthwhile of... He's still relatively young, so to speak, but he's also got a worthwhile of experience playing for the likes of, you know, a former Erik ten Hag player again, of Ajax and, of course, Juventus. But we'll obviously have to wait and see on that one. That's not completely done and dusted. But at the same time, it is very much interesting. It is very much interesting to see what is developing at Manchester United right now. And like I said, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have certainly made all the right noises and all the right sounds, and everybody is finally seeing action being taken. So I understand the excitement. I understand the heightened level of optimism that is around Old Trafford and Manchester United and fans of the club right now. So I completely get where everything's coming from. I'm interested to see from the outside looking in what is going to be happening and how this obviously all goes and takes place. But overall, yeah, as a rival, I hope it doesn't work. But obviously, like I say, I have to be fair and honest when it comes to talking about rivals. And like I say, I understand completely where United fans are coming from. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Manchester United appointing? Well, it's not necessarily official yet, but a deal is agreed and it's pretty much done and dusted, isn't it? Appointing Dan Ashworth as their new sporting director. Let me know what you guys think and feel on this big news story. Let me know what you guys think about Manchester United, the new Manchester United of the more modern era at Old Trafford. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it on this particular topic down below in the comment section. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.